Hello and welcome along to another CrowdProperty funding opportunity. Today we're returning to the project that is the land north of Station Street, Kendal Road in Stretford, Manchester, M320DZ. This is the Phase 2 raise. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So let me introduce you to the team on this one, and I'm delighted to say that Kevin Patrick is with us today.
Good morning, Andy.
So just remind us of your background.
My background is that I'm qualified in civil engineering and construction and health and safety. I've been doing this for over 40 years. I have quite a lot of experience in house building and also building commercial properties. So yeah, this is an interesting project that's coming along.
Well, we'll look at the project in just a few minutes, because I also want you just to tell us a little bit about your project director here.
Yeah, Colin and I are business partners on this, within the company, and we're looking at a number of projects. Colin has been doing property development for a number of years now, and he's been very successful at it. He's had a number of projects back home in Ireland, and then he's done a number of projects over here in the UK.
And he's also done various projects previously with CrowdProperty, hasn't he?
Colin's done previous projects before I joined with them, and then we've got another project that we're currently doing with CrowdProperty over in Stockport, yes.
So let's then look at your project. Is this the second phase raise of 4? CrowdProperty has agreed a development loan which totals £835,000. That's to build 5 apartment buildings in Stretford, Manchester. We'll go through the details in just a few moments. But tell us a little bit more about the area. Stretford is part of Trafford, isn't it?
It is. It's just outside the centre of Manchester. It's very commutable. It's a lovely location. There's good railway links straight into Manchester. It's only literally minutes away, but the road network is very handy as well to travel into Manchester or get onto the M6. So if you wanted to travel north or south, so it's an ideal location for people to be able to commute to various businesses. And then again, obviously, Manchester Airport is only a matter of 7-8 miles away as well, so that's handy as well for people to commute if they're going further afield.
Now, planning permission has been granted by Trafford Borough Council. Their planning reference is APP/Q 4245/W/17/3179935, where permission's been granted to build 5 apartment buildings containing a total of 10 residential apartments, and there's associated parking and outside areas that have access from Kendal Road to the south. Planning conditions have been discharged, allowing build-out to commence on here. The GDV, the gross development value, £1,525,650. The minimum loan term is 16 months, and the loan is going to finish around about the 6th of July 2021. Of course, the project is first charge secured already, and on completion of the works, the borrower is going to sell the property. Here's the location then, looking at the map. You can see on the left-hand side the CrowdProperty flag showing where it is in relation to Manchester and the surrounding motorways. And on the right-hand side, you can see the location, the slither of land that we're talking about here So it's located in the southwestern area of Manchester, predominantly a residential area south of the River Mersey. Stretford offers local amenities. There's pubs nearby, local shops and well-known restaurants and cinemas around about as well. And as you heard Kevin say earlier, it's well connected on the roads. It's 1 mile north of the M60, and junction 9 is 3 miles west, which goes towards Liverpool, which is about 30 miles thereon. Local interests in the Trafford Park area of Manchester, well, there's various bars, restaurants, family friendly shopping, and 100 plus years of great British industrial history. It's home to the Marshall Stevens Memorial as well. Let's talk about this proposed development then. So there's various apartments going to be here, all of them 2-bedroom. Talk us through a little bit more, Kevin.
The image that you're currently showing there is one block. On the ground floor is one apartment, and on the first floor is another apartment. So it basically looks like one big house, but there's an actual ground floor apartment and a first floor apartment. And they're traditionally built, brickwork on the outer skin, blockwork on the inner skin, with concrete floors to both ground floor and first floor level.
Here's the street view here. This is block 1, isn't it, which is plots 1 and 2. Talk us through this.
Yeah, that as you actually turn into Kendal Road, that's the first one on the left hand side. As the image is showing, there's allocated parking to the right hand side of them, which is actually allocated to each apartment, but they also have visitors parking, which basically the cars are showing on the allocated parking, and the visitors parking is in between.
And then when we look then at the blocks 2, 3, 4 and 5, these are units 3 through 10. They look similar, don't they? Built on a slight incline.
They're all exactly the same as you move down. There's just 5 repetitive blocks exactly the same as you move down.
And then here's some computer generated images as to how they're going to look. So this is firstly the outside of the properties, sort of a night scene and a day scene. And then when we move on the inside, this is sort of the layout that's expected to be on the inside. The kitchen on the left hand side, dining area and lounge on the right hand side of your screen. And then here's the floor plans. Just talk us through these floor plans, please, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the one to the left is the ground floor plan. You come in the front door, and as you can see, you've got your living room off to the left, and then you've got your bedrooms really separated off to the right, which is quite nice for people, because if you've got, say, young children, you can put them to bed, and they're away from the living room and the kitchen. Obviously, it's quite a nice layout. The one to the right is the first floor level. You come up the stairs, which is the sort of grey blocked area shown on the left hand side, and then you come into the pot. That's it. Yeah, as you're highlighting for me, Andy. Thank you. That's where you come in there. So they're basically very similar, apart from the stairs to come up over.
Yes, nice layout, nice design as well. Going back to the site, that's how it looked when it was being stripped, and the independent monitoring surveyor has given us a report, which I know that you may not have seen the content of this yet, Kevin. The independent monitoring surveyor, this came on the 10th of February 2020. Borrowers has designed studio KPC Designs Limited. They're acting as the architects. He says the works are adjacent to a railway line, and the borrower has liaised with the Network Rail. Necessary agreement, which is the basic asset protection agreement, is there. Construction method statement was shared with Network Rail for the agreement, and the costs for the BAPA are covered in this project. The borrower stripped the site in preparation for the construction works that are beginning. The substructure design is to be completed to enable this package to be procured. It's awaiting the results of the site investigation and WAC testing. The properties are all sold with deposits taken. The properties are traditional construction, and the borrower is going to construct the upper floors with beam and block to achieve a better acoustic performance. This is interesting because the build costs of 702,000 is built up of 96.69 per square foot. That's in line with the BCIS, but the cost includes a contingency of £50,000. So the actual build cost is in the region of £92 per square foot, and the costs were prepared on the 8th of May 2019. There's no allowance there for the inflation in costs. The build programme is 40 weeks. It appears to achievable, and the IMS surveyor says it's realistic as well. Utility costs include the construction and equate to £200,896 per property. That's the gas, the water, the electric. And a 250,000 drawdown will enable the substructures and majority of the external walls to be constructed. Now, I know that's the first time you've seen that, Kevin. Any comments on it?
Yeah, no problem whatsoever.
And the good news, of course, is that the properties are all sold with deposits taken. Tell us more.
Our sales agents have had an absolute tremendous response, and people have been basically queuing up for these properties. And all properties are sold with deposits taken, so all sold before basically we even put any foundations in.
Remind us how you found this project, Kevin.
Colin does all the searching and acquiring the land, and I believe it was through a contact that this project was brought to Colin's attention, and then Colin followed it up and acquired the land.
Okay, so here's the overview then of the project and the proposed loan. This is the Phase 2 raise. It's for £250,000, part of a total facility of £835,000. RICS have already verified the current market value to be £190,000, and the GDV they say is £1,525,650. The estimated conversion cost £702,000, and the initial loan to value was 70%. So the maximum loan term here is 60 months. The borrower owns the property, and CrowdProperty is the senior debt lender on this particular project, where people will be paid 8% per annum interest. It's rolled up and paid at the exit. So here's a case study for you then, Kevin. This is one you've already done, St Joseph's Road in Sheffield. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, this was a previous project. Basically, as it says, it was a project of 55 units of two-bedroom apartments. As you see, the photographs show the kitchen area, which is going to be very similar to what we're going to install on the properties at Stretford. This was another successful one where we started it, and everything was sold, and we completed it, and we pulled out, and it was a very successful project. Everybody was happy at the end of the day.
And the profit indicates 1.8 million, which looks very, very nice as well. Let's then move on to case study 2. This is one that I believe is ongoing. This is Cheapside Chambers. Explain this one.
Yeah, this was another property that an existing property that Colin acquired in Bradford, and it was a revitalisation, a refurb project, which is gone very well, and again, sales have been good, and it's basically on schedule to give the returns that's being shown there on the slide.
And that's due to be completed December 2020. Are you on track for that?
I think it's going to be before that. Yeah, we're well ahead of schedule there.
So thanks for explaining this project to us then, Kevin, today. Please make sure people on the webinar that you understand the loan, carry out your own due diligence both on the project and on the development team, and then decide how much you would like to lend. CrowdProperty.com is the place to be to pledge on launch, and CrowdProperty will then conduct the necessary anti-money laundering checks for people, and then you'll be invited to send your funds in, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. This is the Phase 2 raise, £250,000 please, for the land north of Station Street, Kendal Road in Stretford, Manchester, M320DZ. Thanks for watching this webinar. We look forward to you joining us again soon for another funding opportunity here at CrowdProperty.com.